Making progress on a goal can make you want to quit because once that initial excitement wears off, you start to understand what that goal will actually require. You see how far you have to go. And instead of asking, what do you have to do next? You start questioning and asking if this was the right goal in the first place. In this video, I'll show you the doubt loop that kills meaningful goals and the question that can restore your direction. The beginning of a meaningful goal can feel incredible. You're not restricted by results yet. You see possibility. You imagine the business, the project, and the person that you could become. And because you haven't gone far enough to understand what the goal will demand, it feels a lot closer than it actually is. You start running the race, but you don't really know where the finish line is. Then you make progress and you learn more, and then your standards rise because you begin to understand what good actually looks like. And it sounds like that should make the journey easier, but it also changes what you see. You notice the difference between your current work and the work that you admire. You start to discover the skills that you didn't know you needed. Results come more slowly than you expected. The work becomes repetitive, and that finish line moves further away. That's where the doubt enters, not because the goal is wrong, but because the goal became real. For example, I started this channel as just full of possibility. I get to experiment and just try new things without direction. I could talk about ideas that matter to me. I can improve as a communicator, as someone who's creating and package things up, and I could help people. But the more seriously I took it, the more I saw. It wasn't enough just to have an honest idea. I needed to understand who it was for, how to communicate the problem clearly, how to package it, how to make ideas interesting. So I could see now the distance I have ahead of me that I wasn't aware of when I started. So instead of interpreting that as a natural result of learning, I started to see it as a problem with the direction itself. My questions began to change. Is this going anywhere? Do I understand who I'm talking to? Am I capable of building a business from this? Is this still what I want? Should I be doing something else with my time? These questions felt like I was trying to find clarity, but they weren't helping me decide what to do next. They were asking me to have a guaranteed future before I continued building it. That is the doubt loop. Progress makes the distance visible. Distance creates uncertainty. Uncertainty makes you ask for certainty. Then certainty isn't available, so you interpret the lack of an answer as evidence that you're lost or stuck or wrong. That's when you start circling. You reconsider the goal that you once set. You search for more advice. You compare yourself with people further ahead of you, and you redesign the plan. And because you're thinking so much about that goal, it feels like you're working on it, but you're not actually solving or making progress with that goal. You're evaluating it. You're deciding if that's even the direction that you want to go in without making any forward movement. You cannot know how good you could become before you complete enough work. Now, this doesn't mean you should never quit or change direction. Sometimes the experiences you get reveal that the goal no longer fits you, or that you collect evidence that says the approach that you're taking now is not working. But there's a big difference between changing direction because you learn something and abandoning a goal because you can't guarantee an outcome. The question I kept asking was, how do I know that this thing's going to work? There was no answer because I haven't gone far enough to know. So I changed the question. I asked, if I were already on a credible trajectory toward building a $200,000 business, what would I need to understand, test, or do next? I just want you to notice, I didn't ask, what would I do if I was already successful? I'm not pretending that I have something that I don't. I'm asking what a credible trajectory would look like for me right now. And that question changed what I was trying to solve. I stopped trying to decide if this whole thing is going to work, and I started solving and thinking about trajectory, progress, and what to do next that would move me forward. What would I need to understand? I need to understand the people I want to help more deeply. I can't create solutions for people that I haven't spoken with or I don't know. What do I need to test? I need to test clearer hooks, more specific problems, and different ways of communicating ideas. What would I need to do? I need to continue creating, preserving ideas I don't use, learn from actual responses, and start having real conversations with people who feel stuck in the patterns that I'm trying to explain. The question I asked didn't make me feel better. That's not the point. It exposed what I actually needed to do. And that gave me direction. And you can use the same question with almost any meaningful goal. If I were already on a credible trajectory toward this goal, what would I need to understand, test, and do next? Those 3 words matter. Understand. What don't you know yet? If you're questioning a career change, maybe you need to understand what that work actually looks like, not decide your entire future from that imagination. Talk to someone doing it. Study an ordinary week, not just an outcome of what you think you want. Understand it from the inside out. Test. Which uncertainty can you turn into an experiment? If you want to build a business, but you don't know whether people want what you're offering, you don't need another month of journaling, writing ideas down, consulting with AI. You need to talk to potential customers. You need to talk to real people and create a small version. Ask someone if they'd use it bluntly. Ask someone to pay for it. And then do what you already know needs to happen. Sometimes uncertainty is real. Other times the next move is clear, but you're asking bigger questions because the small next step is uncomfortable. So do the thing and gather the data. Whether that's sending a message, having a conversation, publishing something, complete the next rep for you that would put you on that credible journey. That would say, yes, I am on this journey toward this goal. Okay, so understand what you don't know, test what you can't predict, and do what is already clear. This question doesn't guarantee that you're going to reach a goal, but it does put you back in a position where the actions that you take can teach you something. And that's how your real direction and confidence returns. If you've started something meaningful and now find yourself questioning if you should still stay on that path, don't immediately assume that you chose the wrong goal or that this is not the right path. Probably just see more of the journey from when you've started. Your standards have changed. How far you have to go is a lot more visible. And now the pursuit is asking something different from you. At the beginning, excitement is enough to get you moving. But in the middle, you need questions and strategy that helps you navigate that path forward. So when you feel yourself entering this doubt loop where you're constantly questioning, stop asking, how do I know this will work? And instead ask, if I were already on a credible trajectory, what would I need to understand, test, or do next? Then choose an answer that makes it real, because you're not going to escape uncertainty by predicting the future, but you will make progress by taking the next step that teaches you something about where you're going. And again, if you're stuck in that place right now, if you're in that doubt loop, if you find yourself questioning the goal and you don't want to sort through it alone, I'm opening up a few free 30-minute calls. No pitch and nothing to sell. I'm doing them so I can understand who's actually watching and what you're stuck on. So spots are limited, but the link is below if you want one. So thanks again. I hope to see you on the next one.